How you doing, man?
You get 3 salaries for all 3 of those mics?
I wish. Well, yeah, I wish, man.
Just tell me when y'all are ready. All right, I'm going to make a statement, then you guys can ask me any question you want. I was born my dad's rookie year for the Dallas Cowboys. So I've been around the NFL since birth, my entire life. My father played 6 years in this league. I'm going on 8 years. So there's a lot of NFL football that's been a part of my family my whole life and a part of my life. And all these reports about this locker room being fractured with Derek Carr is the most obnoxious and ridiculous thing I've heard ever. It's to the point to where it's comical and laughable that I'm even sitting here talking about it. Us as players have zero issue with Derek Carr. He is our leader. He's always been our leader. We put a C on his chest for a reason, along with Rodney Hudson. And regardless of what face he makes after a tackle or what everybody wants to dive into and wear him out about, attacking his character or attacking him as a leader on this football team is a joke. And I hope that everyone hears me loud and clear of what a joke it is. It's frustrating, it's annoying, and it's laughable and not fair to him when it's obviously not coming from inside this locker room. Anybody can say whatever they want. Coach Gruden and Derek are going to take all the bullets. We're 1-5. We're not playing the football we want to play. Coach Gruden had a lot of expectations coming in. We had a lot of expectations coming in. I understand that those 2 guys take most of the bullets, and those 2 can definitely handle it. If anybody can handle it, it's Derek Carr, based off of the person he is and the character he has. But to ever insinuate that there's an issue inside this locker room with our leader and our captain is the biggest joke I've ever seen. And I've been around this league my whole life. My wife, because of how much she loves Derek, because my wife thanks Derek on a regular basis for helping me be a better man off the field, based off of her love for Derek, she pulled up a video last night. It was Tony Gonzalez and James Harrison and a couple other guys, and hell, they were talking about his religious beliefs and his political views and all kinds of crazy things that have no relevance inside our locker room and inside our brotherhood. So the fact that, unfortunately, that was the one time I actually saw some of the stupidity was because my wife was watching it, because she's a woman and she loves Derek. So she listens to the nonsense and asked me about it. But unfortunately, I had to bear through 6 minutes of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So the fact that Derek Carr is the best man and the best Christian man I've ever known in my life does nothing but make him a better leader in this locker room. I guess you could obviously talk to the old lineman about the political stances, but that's irrelevant as well. So it's just comical. It's a joke. During that Redskins game, I was just about the only guy standing on the sideline for the national anthem. My entire team was on the bench. I was standing. There's a picture of the old lineman sitting. I'm standing with Jalen Richard. Rodney Hudson's the godfather of my son, for crying out loud, guys. He was on the bench, I was standing. Our political views are irrelevant. What's relevant is that there's a brotherhood inside this locker room that's very special and unlike any team I've ever been a part on. And the attacking of our strongest leader and the strongest man in our locker room is absolute horseshit. So that's all I really had to say. I'm not really interested in any questions, but I'm willing to answer them since all you guys are here.
Lee, how do you think Derek's holding up under it? Like, do you see it weighing on him at all, the outside stuff?
Listen, guys, he's a human being. I mean, we're human beings. We're not robots, okay? He's got a 1-5 record as the starting quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. That's hard enough on him, much less, him worrying about his 2 sons, happening to see an article that he's not tough. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, of course it's bothering him. He's human. I'm human. I don't want people bashing me all over the internet for my friends and family to see, So I think any man would lie, would say that it would be lying if they said it didn't bother him. Why wouldn't it, right? We're all human beings in this business. I think that's missed. I think that's the perspective that's missed. Listen, Derek makes $25 million a year. Coach Gruden's well paid, obviously. They're our head coach and our quarterback. They're going to take the bullets. And you know what? For the most part, I would never do this because that's part of their gig, and they both get it, and they both can handle it. But if anybody can handle it, it's Derek Carr. With his character and the person he is and the leader he is, he'll take the bullets for everybody else in this locker room all day long. But Derek Carr wasn't the one getting himself hit over and over in Seattle. I can promise you that. It was me. It was everyone else on this team that was getting his head dented in. So, and I don't think he's blamed anybody, has he? No, I can promise you he hasn't, because he's a better man than anybody standing here. So, of course it's bothering him. Why wouldn't it? He's human.
Either somebody can be a good man, but be struggling at the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
can you have those tough conversations, if that's the case with him or your teammates right now when you're 1-5, if you see somebody on film not doing their part?
I think there's a lot of us that need to get better. We're 1-5, and I mean Seattle was ugly, right? I don't think there's any hiding that was an ugly football game from just about everybody on the field. Derek was running for his life. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't throw the ball. We couldn't do much good anywhere. Our field position was terrible all day. So I think all of us need to look at each other. But absolutely, Derek's always going to come in here and tell us when he needs to play better. That's something that he does on a daily basis. Besides Coach Gruden, who, like I've said before, is a wild man. I mean, I don't think he goes home ever. His wife probably sees him 3 hours a week awake. He's here all the time. Besides him, Derek Carr's in this building as much as anybody, working and trying to get better. So of course we have those conversations. Derek tells me when he needs a little more out of me. I do the same with him. Along with like I said, this is a brotherhood. Everything, all this noise on the outside, the reason it's so laughable is because it's all just nonsense. But I think all of us can play better. I think being a good, I agree with you. Being a good man doesn't keep you employed in the NFL. We're not here for popularity contests. We're not here to be good Samaritans. We're here to entertain people and win football games. And it's a production-based business. But Derek Carr's a great football player, and there's a reason he's got a capital C on his chest. There's a reason he's got a $125 million contract. I mean, this guy's, it's crazy that all of a sudden Derek Carr is even a topic of conversation. But once again, he is the quarterback. He's not having the year he wants to have. And, we see the statistics. We get it. But by no means is anybody in this locker room worried about Derek.
What was your reaction to Amari getting to Dallas?
You know, it's always, I said yesterday with Vic, it's always hard when you lose elite players, especially players that were homegrown and drafted here. You know what I mean? But at the same time, those decisions are made upstairs. Coach Gruden has made us aware every step of the way that he's doing what he believes is best for the Oakland Raiders. This year, next year, the next year, the next year, the next year. He loves the Raiders. I mean, I don't think it's a really big secret how many jobs he probably got offered in the last 10 years, right? And he waited for the Raider job. This is the job he wants. This is where he wants to be. He never wanted to be traded. If anybody knows what it's like to be traded, it's John Gruden. He got traded himself. So it sucks watching my man Coop leave. I was here when we drafted him. I've watched him grow. I've watched him become a Pro Bowl player. I've watched him be unstoppable. So, of course, we want Amari to be on our team. But at the same time, Coach Gruden's doing what's best for the Raiders long term, and that's his job. My job is to play tight end. Derek's job is to play quarterback. Rodney's job is to play center. So we'll all tell you that we weren't happy to see Amari leave. He's a great football player. But there's a plan in place for this organization that is, above our call of duty. Our call of duty is to play football and win football games and give everything we have to our teammates.
All set, guys?
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, man, you got it.